Hi folks, in today's vid we're going to be working on this Mk3 Mondeo and we're going to be replacing the rear flexible brake lines. Keep watching. Right, okay everyone, this car's failed the MOT. I've done a few little jobs on it at the moment, but one of the other jobs I've got to do is to replace these rear flexible brake pipes. Now these are the ones that actually connect onto the calipers and they're situated on each of the wheels, but in this case it's the two rear ones that have actually perished. So first thing to do is to jack the car up, get the wheel off, and then we'll see exactly where we are. Right, as you can see now, I've got the wheel off, and this is the old offending item here, this brake pipe. If you look under there, the outer casing of it is actually split there, look, so that's the reason it's obviously failed its MOT. It's got to come out of here, and it's also got to come out of this clip here. So I've got to clean all this off first with a wire brush or something and pull that clip out, and then I can undo this union and then unwind it there. And then we're going to get brake fluid come out of there, as you probably know, so we're going to have to blank this off somehow. So I'm just going to clean this up, get this clip off, and let's start to take this off. There's a hole at the back there. I might be able to get a screwdriver in there and pull it forward. It's going to be tight, I know that. Let's try it again with them mole grips. As I say, there's a good chance you're going to have this problem and they'll be well rusted in. Yeah, here we go. Pull. There we go. So really a good pair of mole grips is the best way to grab hold of that, to pull that out. Right, now basically that should move about then, as you can see, and that should pull forward. Yeah, there's a couple of flats on there which you can hold a spanner with. Right, now what's going to happen when we undo this pipe here, there's going to be brake fluid come out of this pipe here. So really we've got to blank that off. We don't want it all draining the system out. So what you can use, I think we're going to possibly try it first anyway. I don't know how worn this cap is. On your actual bleed nipple you should have a little cap, and that I'm hoping to be able to stick over the end of the pipe, so to speak, and that should stop it flowing out. If not, I'm going to have to tape it up. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to try and crack this joint now. Right, that's an 11mm. These are proper brake line spanners, as you can see. They're a lot more chunkier. Smaller spanners can tend to slip, so you've got to be careful. So put that on there like that. I'll give it a squirt of WD-40. Yeah, it looks like the back's 17mm. So I'm on the back with a 17mm, and I've got to undo this now. So got it, there we go. And sometimes that can strip, but in this case we've got it. So I'm just going to give it a turn like that and just give it a squirt with some WD down there, because it's all corroded around there. And that's why you really need one of these brake line spanners to undo these unions, as opposed from a normal open-ended, because they're a lot more chunkier and less chance of them slipping. Now if we get a lot of fluid drain out of here, you've got to keep an eye on your reservoir in the bonnet area, that it doesn't actually drain out and put air into the rest of the system. At the moment we're just possibly going to need to bleed the end of the system, which is where the hose is, because that's the bit we're taking off. So don't let that reservoir level drop in the engine bay. Right, that pipe's out of there now, so as you can see there, I'm going to get that rubber plug off here and plonk that on the end there, and hopefully that should hold it back if I'm lucky. If it doesn't, then I'll have to tape the joint up as well. But that might do for the moment. We'll keep an eye on it. And there's the first part of the job done. The pipe is actually off now. So I'm just going to undo this union here now, and that should be the brake pipe off. This one's a 14mm, so let's get this one undone. There we go. That cracked off nice and easy, that one, look. So let's wind that out. And there we go, there's our damaged brake pipe. As you can see at the bottom there where it's all cracked. So basically when I was doing the brakes on this, I did notice these were cracked, so I knew it was going to fail on this. So that's that one out of the way now. Be careful not to drop any fluid on your pads or your disc as well, by the way. So there we go, that's that out. I'm going to screw this thing back in now. Okay, nip it up again with an old 14mm. Don't over tighten this. Like that. Okay. Right, let's get our pipe through that hole and let's take that little cover off of there. Just put that back over there for the moment. Poke it through our hole and ease it back into our thread. Okay, that's that nipped up. Let's get that clip back on. I'm going to put it on the same way I took it off. There we go. Perfect. There we go. That's the new hose back in. And just recheck that now the clip's back on. Yeah, there we go. That's nice and tight now. And that should be sealing lovely. Little squirt with a brake cleaner just to dry it off. Wipe with a cloth. That's the new brake pipe back on, and all we've got to do now is to crack the bleed nipple and bleed the brakes. Bleed the brakes. So one thing I will also say is that your brake nipples can break off as well. You've got to be very, very careful with them as well. And you can also use this brake line spanner to actually crack your nipples. I've lubricated this as well, and if you can just see, look, there you go, I've cracked it off there now. So I now know that when I bleed the brakes now, that we're fine to do that. And also, if you find that your dust cap hasn't got a little cap on it, as you know, like this little one, this one's got a cap on and that's nice and clean, but if it hasn't got a cap on and it's just left like that, there's a very good chance that the actual inside of that can be blocked up. So you have to take the whole nozzle out and basically just give that a clean out before you start bleeding your brakes, because you might find that it might be blocked up and might not bleed properly. So yeah, there you go. Right, I've now got my glamorous assistant with me, Sharon.
Yeah, sure.
Right, okay, so now what we've got to do is bleed the brakes, and it really is a two-handed job unless you've got one of those automatic bleeding things. But I've got the automatic bleeding thing here, so we're going to make use of this one. Right, so go and get a bit of rag over there, baby. Just round there, back of the car. You'll see an old T-shirt I ripped up. It's one of yours, by the way. Right, now, as I say, all we've got to do is to make sure that we've got this brake fluid topped up all the time, because we don't want this reservoir draining and getting air in from this end. So, right, so first of all, I'm going to put some rag around here because we don't want to start dropping brake fluid all over the place, just to cover that up there. Now, I can already see on the side there, as you can probably see, we've got a minimum level, which is right down there, and the maximum level's there. We're just below the maximum at the moment. You can just see it there. So I'm going to keep it above the maximum, or just around the maximum at the moment. So that's why I'm just going to top this up. Now, I've had a little look in here, and this brake fluid looks nice and clean anyway. So if this was very, very dirty, you'd just bleed the whole system through, but we don't sort of need to do this in this instance. So I'm just going to tip this. Keep it topped up. Right, well, as I say, I've gone over the maximum mark there, but it's not really it doesn't matter too much. That's it. Right, so I'm going around to the back wheel now, and basically what I've made up here is just a water bottle with a piece of hose going through it, and I've just stuck that in. So you know I'm using our 11mm brake line spanner just to put that on there. Get my clear hose, which should fit nicely over the bleed nipple. Right, so I'm in a situation now where I'm ready to go. So I'm going to tell Sharon to go in the car now. Shall?
Hello.
Go in the car, baby. Right, sit in the driver's seat. So you might have to get your wife to do this. Now, we're dealing with the brake pedal. Well, if they ain't got a wife, they've got to get a friend then, haven't they? Right, you've got the middle pedal, which is your brake pedal. Give it a push up and down. Right, now you know it's a firm pedal as you got there, right? Now, when I tell you to push the pedal down, I want you to push it right down to the floor and hold it down. And when I say up, you let the pedal up. When I say down, You push it straight down to the floor again. Now, is your seat near enough?
Well, no.
Right, move your seat forward, baby, because that was for me, wasn't it?
Stop driving my car.
Right, okay, so you happy with that?
I'm all over the moon.
So you just listen for what I say and do exactly what I say as normal.
That, yeah.
All right, baby?
I'm under.
All right, bye.
Yeah, bye.
She don't normally do what I say, I'll just... She could hear me. Right, okay, let me just set this tripod up and we'll start bleeding. Right, here we go. Right, down. Up. See the air bubbles? Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Hold it down. And up. Right, now as you can see, we've got no air bubbles coming out of that tube now. It's only the first instance. Right, Sharon. Pump it up and down, see if it's back to normal. Brilliant. She says she can't get it down. So that's fine, yeah? And all I'm going to do there is now remove this. Stay where you are for a minute, like that. We've collected the old dirty old fluid there and the air that was in there. I'm going to give that a final finish off with brake cleaner. And that evaporates off to nothing. Right, now just give it another little pump, baby. What? She said she can't get the pedal down. Well, that's a good sign. Yeah, no leaks there. We're fine. Put the old dust cap back on. And the job's done. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. With the help of a glamorous assistant mechanic, we've bled the brakes now, everything's back on, and it's just a matter of putting the tyre back on, dropping it down. I'm going to do the other side. You don't need to see that. You've seen now we've done this job with Sharon. Say thank you, Sharon, for doing my car.
Thank you for doing my car.
We'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now. Tell them.
Bye.
Bye-bye. See you later, everyone. Bye.